Karla Heidelberg, and I'm a professor of the practice here at USC in the departments of biology and the program in environmental studies. I came to USC in 2006, and I took over the directorship of environmental studies from 2013 through 2019. And I currently serve as the director of USC Sea Grant.
My name is Jill Sohm. I am an associate professor of teaching of environmental studies, and I'm also the director of the Environmental Studies Program. I started as the director in 2019 after Karla, and am continuing as the director today.
The ENST program holds a really important place in my heart for this whole campus because it started out as such a kind of a small and discombobulated program, and it has grown into this amazing program with students that motivate me every day and a really good direction. So for me, ENST is one of the really inspiring programs on campus.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm like talking to parents or other folks on campus, I say that the environmental studies students are the best students on campus. And I really wholeheartedly, firmly believe that. Although I'm sure that every department thinks their students are the best students on campus. But what I really love about the program is that it's a community.
Yeah.
And that the students are a community with themselves, but also in community with the faculty. It's really lovely to be able to, as a faculty member, have the kind of relationships that we do with the students. And
I mean, I would argue that because we bring in so many faculty from other departments and weave them into our program, our students have the opportunity to explore a lot of different majors while being an environmental studies major. And so we have this very rich student body.
Yeah. They do so many different things, right? Like you have students who will tell you about research they're doing in a lab in marine environmental biology, and others who are like working at City Hall. And that whole like variation, all of those students help teach each other too.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I started in 2013, and when I came in, the ENST program was quite small. We had maybe 4, maybe 5 full-time faculty, and then the majority of our program academically was based by leveraging off other courses throughout the university. And so my immediate goal was first to stabilize the program and then start building the program so that we would not be reliant on other programs for courses, and also just the very beginnings of starting to tailor student options for how they could focus their environmental studies practice. And then when you came in, you completely changed the curriculum and how the students could become part of this really exciting multivariate program.
So my intentions when I came in, first of all, Karla was actually the person who hired me. You were the person who hired me. And I had become the director of undergraduate studies fairly early on after I started within the program. And I paid attention, basically. I was always interested, like, what is this all about? What is it like to run a program? So I had been thinking about, like, what might I want to do? If this ever became an opportunity for me. And when you decided to pursue the job at NSF for a little while, I was really pleased to be offered the opportunity to become the director because I really believe in the program and I had ideas for more things that I thought we could do. My overall intentions with the program from the start and continuing to today is what is the best for the students and what is the best for the faculty. So every decision or idea has to kind of like pass those tests for me. Is this good for students? Is this good for the faculty in the program? And if that's true, like, yeah, let's move forward with it. Another intention that I had personally was that I wanted environmental studies to become part of the larger conversations that had started to bubble up around sustainability on campus.
Yep.
So I just tried to say yes to everything that anybody would invite me to, or try to get myself invited to meetings that were happening, larger meetings that were happening on campus, so that any time that the idea of sustainability came up, people remembered, oh, right, we have an environmental studies program and we should involve them in the conversation. So that was like my other main goal. Yeah.
I think when the USC Wrigley Marine Science Center on Catalina Island opened up and made ENST a formal partner, and they opened up opportunities for us to not only get our students out there, but almost make sure that our students had an opportunity to work out there, to learn by doing versus learn by PowerPoint presentations. That was actually a game changer for our program. And even our students who may be involved more in things like sustainable cities or policy, they still have so many opportunities out on the island. And that has formed these nice cohorts of students.
Yeah.
That the being able to work in the field together or to work outside of the classroom as a cohort has really been good for our program.
Yeah, yeah.
And I still call it a program because I consider ENST still a very important part of who I am. There are so many opportunities on the table for ENST right now. We're looking at graduate programs, both online and in person. We're looking at additional opportunities for our students, continuing to grow the program, continuing to build bridges between departments. It is unlimited. Having a relationship with Wrigley in a formal way where we're bringing in new ideas and new ways to talk about what ENST could become has been a really important milestone for us. And, we're celebrating our 30th year now. I mean, what are we going to do in the next 10 years?
Yeah.
That's where you get to answer and come in on that one.
It's really exciting to have I just realized last year that we were coming up on the 30th anniversary, right, because I had that year 1993 had stuck out in my brain. I knew from other people that that's when the program had started, and there may have been points along the way where people thought it wasn't going to make it, but it's really thriving now. And joining the Wrigley Institute, I guess it was official in 2022 or 2021, just recently, has helped supercharge the opportunities for students that we can create outside of the classroom, which is very fun to see, and to come up with new ideas.
And professional development training. That has scaled up so much. I would argue that almost none of our students leave this campus without a pretty decent professional training portfolio that goes along with their academic training. And that is fundamentally different than almost every other program on this campus.
Yeah, yeah. So, in the next 5 years, that's a good question. I think the program will probably continue to grow in the number of students that are in it. Both because we've continued to upgrade the curriculum and think about what students need today in order to be successful for what they want to achieve when they leave.
In today's world.
And also because more young people care about these issues because it's going to affect what their life is like going forward. So we have more people finding us, and also the program continues to grow and improve.
I think more people are finding us because our alumni are out in the world now, and they're recommending people, hey, you need to come to USC. You need to be a part of that program. And we're seeing those. We're getting that verbal feedback, so we know that's how they heard about us. And that, to me, is super rewarding.
Yeah, yeah. And being part of the Wrigley Institute officially, and with the work that they have been doing to try and raise the profile of the Institute, that's going to trickle down into the Environmental Studies program as well, I think.
We're positioning ourselves to be poised to make the changes needed to respond to whatever opportunities show up in the future.
Yeah.
We have really well-defined goals about how we want to look. You know, we want to be able to provide opportunities that allow students to graduate from here and immediately move into either graduate school, a position, an internship, or understand that they know they can make a difference. How we get there, I don't really know what that's going to look like today, but we are thinking about that all the time.
Yeah.
And
I think the overall goal is for us to be always looking at what are the specific kinds of educational experiences and knowledge that the students need so that they're ready to immediately start making an impact when they leave, which is what they want. And I always do tell them, like, you don't need to stress yourself out so much about being able, when you're 22, to do the thing that it takes people until they're 30 to be able to achieve. You know, you can't substitute in time and experience. But we can give them a lot of impactful experiences while they're here. And I think the interest is really focusing on students being able to understand what the issues are that they care about, and then how to affect change on those issues. And there are lots of different ways that students can affect change. And some of them want to do it by scientific research, and some of them want to go into politics. And, you know, on, and figuring out how to get every student, no matter how different they are, what they need out of the program, which I think we already do a pretty good job of. But, you know, the more faculty that we can bring in that have different areas of expertise to give more perspectives to the students, I think is really something that I'd like to be able to see. Yeah.
I have to admit, one of the places that I've seen ENST grow is when I came in, because I'm an oceanographer, because I'm very coastal and marine focused. Our weakest part of ENST back in 2013 was policy. All of our policy, most of our policy courses were taught through other programs, and it was just something that kind of happened. I have to admit, I was focusing very much on, you know, research opportunities and more STEM science, and I think that's truly where ENST has grown, is becoming more complete in the types of things that we can offer, and that's been exciting to watch under your leadership for sure. You know, for our students today, they face a lot more challenges than we faced, I think, as students. They think about very heavy and deep topics. And I think that our biggest challenge is to give them the knowledge they need to make individual assessments of how they're going to behave, how they're going to act, and encourage them not to just adopt what they hear as the way that they should think. Critical analysis skill sets that allow students to better communicate what challenges we face is really important to me.
Yeah. So we think about this a lot, obviously, in environmental studies, that question of like, this stuff is heavy. How do we help students through it? How do we ourselves get through it? And the first thing that I think is that the students inspire me because they're so passionate and they care so much. And who am I to give up on anything when they're here trying and working? I also try to tell them that I think doing the work is the empowering part of being able to sit with the hard part of it. Because it's empowering and it helps you feel like I'm making my contribution. But I was reading something the other day also that kind of struck a chord with me in relation to this question of how do we deal with it, and that like basically this stuff is really hard, and it's messy, but we're all here together doing it together. And I know that when I think about like the other ENST faculty, there's nobody that I would rather be doing this with than with the people that I work with and with the students that we teach. And so I think that part of community that is a strong part of our program, and doing the work together is a really important part of making it through the difficult pieces of this.